Good evening, everybody. Apparently I have to do this another take because apparently I did this the first time and it was all well and good and I apparently did not hit go live. So again, let me try this again, guys. Take two. Welcome, guys, to this latest edition of Around the Ropes podcast right here on the Around the Ropes podcast YouTube channel. As always, guys, you guys know where to find us. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Just search Around the Ropes podcast. You will find us. As always, you guys know who I am. I'm John. If you want to interact with me tonight, you definitely can. You can leave your comment below. I'll definitely pull them up. Let me make sure I got this section up. Yep, I'm good on that. And guys, like I said, we got a lot to get to tonight. We have some independent stuff to get to tonight because, of course, that's what we do here on the Around the Ropes podcast. We also have a lot of rest of stuff going on over in AEW and WWE to get to because, I mean, I don't know if people realize this, but we're on we're on the road to WrestleMania, and last night's Monday Night Raw really showed that. So we'll get into all that. But I want to start on with what happened this past Friday night. I made the trip up to Blitzkrieg Pro up in Town Square, and I got a chance to go see a Blitzkrieg Pro show for the first time. And this is one company that I have been wanting to go to for the longest time. I had, I never thought it would actually happen per se, because I was like, yeah, it's not. And then I started looking. Hold on one second. Apparently, I have to hear myself twice now. But bear with me 1 second here. Time to share the show so I can get other people to watch the show as well. But guys, going up to Blitzkrieg, I definitely give Phil and all of them up there credit for what they do. They put on a really good show. Covers. Okay, apparently I got a comment coming in here. Apparently I pissed off Greek Savage, where he goes, How effing dare you cover wrestling? Not talk about what's going on could happen with Savage in 2024. Downright criminal. And now next time Slade sees you, we owe you a Savage greeting. Oh, Greek, you're funny, buddy. And guys, go check out Greek Savage. He will be airing his show live tonight. I think at 11 p.m. talking about what's going on in the world of wrestling. So definitely go check out Greek Savage. Believe me, folks, you're not going to miss him because you can hear him coming a mile away. But Greek, thank you for checking out the show tonight. I appreciate it, buddy. But no, going up to Blitzkrieg Pro is definitely a fun time. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm just trying to get more people to watch the show tonight. But overall, it was my first time up in Massachusetts. It was my first time not going to a show in the New York, New Jersey area, to say the least. And it was definitely, like I said, definitely a fun time. I will be bluntly honest right now. My match of the night for me, if I had to pinpoint it down to one match, I mean, the women's match between Brittany Brooks and Gabby Forza was very good. Also because, I was kind of the sponsor for that match. I'm trying to think here. I thought the biggest pop of the night was actually let me set this up first, because one of the things that happened Friday night was they had two WWE legends. Sandman was there and Gangrel was there. Gangrel was in a 6-man tag match with, it was the Shook Brood, Bobby Orlando, and Bryce Donovan taking on the team of Jake Lang. I forgot the other two guys off the top of my head on that one. I apologize. And it was, that definitely got a moment, but the moment I'm talking about is, whatchamacallit. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. I just want to, because I have some comments coming in here. I want to give the person who. Oh, what's going on, Blocks? Blocks, I'm just gonna say this right now. I know you guys have a tag team match coming up soon for Titan. Can you beat Ken Powers and the other guy, please? I just need them to shut up already. But yeah, like I said, guys, so Blitzkrieg Pro, guys, it was, if you did not get a chance to watch it, you definitely go. It's, I think, up on IWTV. It was live, but it may be up now. I'm really trying to think here as far as the match of the night for me. I think I got to go either the main event. Blocks, I appreciate that. That would be a fantastic birthday present to me. What was I gonna say? No, as far as match of the night from Blitzkrieg, I'm gonna have to pinpoint it down to two. Unfortunately, I hate to say it because a lot of times whenever we do these, we always like to sit there and say, "Oh, you have to pick one match." For this one, I think I got to go two, and I think the two that I got to go with for my match of the night at Blitzkrieg was the main event, which saw Sammy Diaz take on Alley Catch, take on TJ Crawford for the Bedlam title. And also, I would have to go the women's match. Gabby Forza taking on Brittany Brooks. And that one, I'm not saying, and the thing is, with Gabby and Brittany, I'm not saying that one just because we were the sponsors of them, but it was just more in line with the story they told. And both of them are very talented women. I actually got a chance to talk to Gabby afterwards, and there is a good possibility she might be coming on the podcast at some point, especially getting closer to the May Creator Pro show. So you're not going to want to miss that. We got some more comments coming in, so let me go through them quickly. Our buddy David from across the pond checking us out tonight, going, "Hey John, looking forward to my first indie show in my hometown this Friday, Mega Slam Wrestling, and it's only 5 minutes walk from my house, so I'm pretty stoked." David, let me know how that goes next week. I love to get your recap on it. I definitely would love to get your recap on it, and definitely let me know, your first time going to an indie show, how much different it is for you than it is going to like a WWE or an AEW show. But it's definitely, like I said, when you look at Blitzkrieg, like I said, definitely go give them a follow, go give them a like, go check their stuff out. They have some really, really good stuff. I know they have a show coming up in May. I'm not sure of the exact date yet of that show in May. So like I said, if you follow Blitzkrieg Pro, you'll get all the information there. Like I said, being in Massachusetts also for the first time on Friday was interesting to say the least, because I've never been up to Mass before Friday night. And overall, it was very easy to get to. Very easy to get to. Very, nothing for nothing. But, excuse me. And like I said, so you got that coming up. We're gonna definitely touch on ISPW here in a little bit, about 20 minutes or so, about 15 minutes or so. Total Tom will be joining us to talk about the show that just happened this past Friday. And holy crap, what a show. What is, hold on, make John from the Front Row Mafia guys chimes in here and goes, "Make Total Tom wait until JVD can return. With family having cake, JVD, the leader of Front Row Mafia, demands this of Total Tom." Well, John, first of all, happy birthday, and I wish it to you on earlier, but I'll wish it to you here on the podcast as well. That I would go eat that cake soon because he's hopping on here in about 15 minutes or so. Just saying. But again, like I said, the ISPW had their show this past Friday. We'll get to that, like I said, in a little bit. But I do want to get to some news that broke today with ISPW, as I know Tommy Fierro runs like 35 shows a month. So it seems like every other week he's running another show. His next big show he has, obviously we all know, is 80s WrestleCon down in Mehorn, or I probably butchered that and I'll probably get chastised by everybody who lives in New Jersey. But it's happening May 4th. And on this, you'll have a boatload of talent there. And also they're going to announce the 2024 Hall of Fame class for the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. So you're not going to want to miss that. They just announced one of the matches for this show. And when I tell you, my mouth dropped to the floor. Now, this is a guy who we had him on, last week or the week beforehand. And it seems like he's having a lot of big matches coming up, a lot of big moments. And this one kind of adds to it. Because happening at this show, I kid you not, Darius Carter, Richard Holiday, in a first time ever match. And what's funny about this, I just want to make this mention. When I had Darius on here during YouTube, because again, guys, you have to go back and watch it, and I greatly appreciate it if you do. I asked him about, if there's certain companies that he's never worked with, what company would be one that he would love to work with, and he gave the typical politically correct answer of anyone that would like to do business. But then I kept mentioning ISPW, and it's funny because this is the second time I've had a wrestler on this show mention another company, and then a few days later, also I find out they're going to debut for that company. It happened, last year I think it was. We had Joey Conway on, and I don't remember who asked. I think it was me or Ryan. One of us asked him, well, maybe Ryan, what company would you like to work for? And he said, one of them is Titan. And it just so happened that maybe a week or two later, also I forgot, it must have been Mount Olympus or whatever. It may have been either the October show or the November show. And also, it was the October show. And they turned around and they're like, yeah, debut for Titan is Joey Conway. So I'm like, then also when I heard that Darius had appeared Friday night, and then I read something that he will be doing more work with ISPW, I'm like, oh, interesting. So, I didn't get, like I said, I didn't get a chance to see the pay-per-view, the Rumble. Like I said, we'll have Total Tom on in a bit to talk about it. But the one thing with ISPW, and I will say this till the cows come home, they put on some of the best work of any indie. And I have been to a lot of indie promotions. You guys know that. But when you look at ISPW, and when I just did an interview with Justin Rando, who's a referee up in Dynasty, which that interview will be dropping next couple of days. And we were talking, he had mentioned how Dynasty and XWA, I think it is, whatever the company is up in Pittsfield, that both of them are basically NXT with a lower budget. What you can almost say about with ISPW is WWE with a lower budget. And I'm not saying it to be mean, but you look at the quality of guys who Tommy brings in. You look at the stars that are aligned. I mean, let's call a spade here. ISPW draws very well. And a lot of that is because of the work Tommy puts in. Tommy's an extremely busy dude. I'm not taking that away from him. He puts on great stuff. But he gets it. He's not going to put, wrestler A with wrestler B and turn around and just do it for the hell of it. It's got to make sense. And that's the one thing I like with Tommy and with ISPW is it makes sense. When I've been to the last ISPW show I was at was last May, I think. Last April or May. I don't remember when exactly. When they did the Total a Day fair. And the main event was Rick Recon taking on Vargas. And I remember that because the biggest thing I remember from that one was being in that sun all freaking day. I remember we had Rick on. We had Rick Recon on for YouTube exclusive. And I was talking to him about that. And I said, I felt sorry for you guys. Because normally when, you get these guys who are wrestling, normally they, they're not in the sun all the time. They were in the sun. And that, you got to remember also, it's the beginning of, I think it must have been the beginning of May. We're not looking at 30-degree weather anymore. We're not looking at 30 degrees anymore. We're looking at, especially on a hot day, 60, 50, 60, somewhere in that ballpark. So it is, it's definitely, like I said, ISPW, if you get the chance, definitely go check them out. I'm not sure when they're running again. Like I said, I know they're running May 4th, but I don't know. I think they may be running April 19th, I think. Is I think their next show they have coming up. What do I want to say? No, but like I said, I'll put ISPW over. Oh, that's what I want to say. If you want ISPW coverage, go check out another YouTuber by the name of DJ Storms. I'm actually going to this kind of segues into what are we doing with him next Thursday night, ahead of NXT and Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor. I will finally make my debut and finally have the collaboration that a lot of you guys have been wanted, as I will be sitting down with DJ Storms to preview both cards and kind of talk about it. And let's be honest, the NXT card, actually, I don't even know. I know one match so far, and that's the main event with whatchamacallit, Trick and what was it? Carmelo. So I just want to see what other matches they got, because unfortunately a lot of times I don't get a chance to watch NXT live because obviously it's during the show, so I don't get a chance to actually watch it live. But let me see something. We got Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo for the NXT Championship. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker will defend the NXT tag titles against tournament winners. We got Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes, and Lyra Valkyria will take on Roxanne Perez for the NXT Women's title. I'm telling you right now, out of all those matches, I think the match that should close out the show, Stand and Deliver, and I'll say this, I'll go more into this when I'm on with DJ next week. I think it's got to be Trick and Carmelo. To me, Ilya and Tony, okay, it's and I know the argument is, but it's for the title. That doesn't matter. Yes, I agree. I do agree with that as far as that. Oh, David saying that D'Angelo and Dragunov will be a banger. Absolutely, I agree 100%. But my whole thing is this. As a wrestling fan, I just went through the matches. What match are you I'm leaving this up to you guys, the fans. What match are you guys most, I'm trying to think how the best way to phrase this, have the most interest in, so to speak? Because I can tell you right now, of the matches I just listed, there's one match that I think is superseding every other one of them. And it's because of the storytelling. It's been because of how long this thing's been going. And like I said, Carmelo and Trick, I think, should be your main event. I know the comments, like I said, I know the comments going to be, but John, you can't have the, no. I get the fact that if you're a purist, yes, you want to have the title on less. That I agree with. That I understand. But to me, you want to close out, especially with how big next weekend is going to be. You want to close out your biggest weekend with probably your biggest match that has the most fans' interest. And again, I just went through all the matches. To me, I mean, it's a no-brainer that it should be Carmelo and Trick to close out Stand and Deliver next Saturday. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Who do you think should be the main event of Stand and Deliver? I'll go over the matches again in case you do not know who they are. We have Ilya Dragunov taking on Tony D'Angelo for Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo for the NXT Championship. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker will take on the tournament winners for the NXT Tag Titles. Trick Williams will take on Carmelo Hayes. And Lyra Valkyria will take on Roxanne Perez. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, David agrees with me. He goes, you have to finish with your biggest story, no doubt. Yeah, that's my whole point. Is you can't turn around and be like, oh, well, Elio and Tony are for the title. They should close out the show. No. Because I'll be honest, looking at that, and don't get me wrong, I think both of them are talented as hell. D'Angelo is very talented. Elio, I mean, we know what Elio can do. I just said Elio like it's a freaking pizza. But when you have fan interest, because like I said it, God, when Punk came back to AEW the first time, and I think it was, he'd taken on, I think it was Darby Allin, was his first match in Chicago. I remember I don't remember if it was on this show, I don't remember where it was, getting into arguments that I still think they should close out that All Out. Because I'm of the mentality, you go with what has the most fan interest. Point blank simple. And realistically, I know storytelling wise, that's one thing. But to turn around and to turn around and have the title and have Elio and Tony main event, I'll tell you the one reason why they do that. It's because of that. Oh, okay. Drum roll, please. Oh, how apropos. I just want to go to the one more comment here before we bring on our guests. And David chimes in here, says, Trick and Mello's story has been the core focus of the season. All other sub-stories and matches have been built and integrated around that. Yeah, no, you're 100% right, David. Now, let me bring on the guest of the hour. Guys, you see him at 99% of the ISPW shows. He is in the front row. He calls in the Busted Open quite a bit. The one, the only, Toto Tom joins the program. How you doing tonight?
Very well, John. I have something I'd like to start this evening off with. It's very special, and it means a lot. So I'd like you all to just take a minute. This is a proclamation that I had done today. All right, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's a proclamation that I'd like to read to the audience, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hear ye, hear ye. On this day of Tuesday, March 26th of the year 2024, JVD, otherwise known as the Junk Food Dog, for those of you old Dave Meltzer Observer newsletter readers, you'll know that reference. JVD, otherwise known as John Van Decker, will be bestowed the title of the leader of the Front Row Mafia in conjunction with his 50th birthday, which is today. Happy birthday, John Van Decker. 50 years is no small feat.
No, not at all. And again, John, happy birthday from Around the Ropes podcast as well.
Now, how long is this show?
This show has been around for what? How long the show's been around? Or how long?
Tonight's episode.
About 2 hours or so, give or take.
Okay, so John hereby will be the leader of the Front Row Mafia for at least the next 2 hours. You can make a case till at least midnight tonight because it is his birthday until midnight. So I hope he can get as much accomplished as I have done for the Front Row Mafia in the short time that he will be known as the leader. And that was done today with this proclamation. Okay, anything else you want to talk about?
But how have you been? I know it's been a while since we've had you on.
Yeah, I kind of have not been on your podcast for a while. Last time, my wife interrupted me when I was on the air with you, and it didn't go well. So
That's fine.
yeah, so I just wanted to apologize for that. I know that was awkward for everyone involved. I don't see Ryan here tonight, so he probably has never recovered. I think I do know what you want to talk about, though. There was a couple of hot shows for ISPW that occurred. And where would you like to start off with? 2 weeks ago in Hackettstown first?
Yeah,
I'll just give you
start
a
with
quick
that one.
synopsis.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago in Hackettstown, New Jersey, ISPW drew probably the largest crowd they've had since they've been back. Over 500 people in attendance at Hackettstown High School. And Mick Foley was the special guest general manager for the night. And we saw, of all people, the Amish country in attendance. Now, I bring that up because this event was sponsored by Amish Mike's. Now, Amish Mike, he is Hackettstown. Okay, everybody knows him. I have people in my area down here in Totowa who have used him to buy sheds. I know people all across northern New Jersey, East New Jersey, West New Jersey, Southeast New Jersey, North Central New Jersey. They all know Amish Mike. He put on a fantastic fundraiser for the Hackettstown High School. It was for the soccer team, the girls soccer team, and boys soccer team, excuse me. It was just for boys and girls high school soccer. So we had a great crowd, great event. I have to say it was probably the best run event I have been at ISPW. Can you see my front row mafia hat?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, good. So anyway, couple of things that happened that night. Crowbar successfully defended his title against Danny Moff. Very brutal match. The Amish country were there, the tag teams. It was Jedediah and Ezekiel Hoskins, who, by the way, are going to be at the meet and greet at the battlefield April 5th. That's a Friday. We'll talk about that a little bit, John, because I want to touch base with you on that. So they'll be there in attendance, along with Greek Savage. I know he's been tearing up the indie scene lately. I even saw that he gave you a little bit of some savageness on the chat room here. So now I wouldn't take it lightly, John, only because I personally have seen Spencer Slade in action. And I don't know if you saw the video, but for no good reason, he did attack me at one of the shows that he was at. And I was in the right. I didn't think he won the match, but obviously he had to stick up for Savage. So he put his hands on me. I let it go. I told Savage, though, at the end of the show, I'm not going to stand for this much longer. The Front Row Mafia, okay, and ISPW, okay, will have my back if Spencer. John, I'm here. Are you there, John? Well, I'll continue to talk. Anyway, we had a show in Totowa, New Jersey, this past Friday. It was called the Golden Rumble Ticket. Okay. This was the first of its kind that I've seen ISPW run. Oh, hi, John. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. What happened was my computer, for some reason, and I haven't figured out how to combat this yet. If I keep it plugged in too long, even though it's fully charged, and even on my head, I'm like, oh, let me keep it in. It won't give me like a warning. It will just cut the screen off completely.
I see. Well, John, I hope we didn't lose anybody because the ratings are essential for Totowa Tom. Okay. This will be the highest rated show you've had at least in a year. Anyway, I was talking about what happened on Friday night because I kind of segued into Friday night in Totowa because Esmeralda tells me that I have about 6 more minutes left on this podcast before I have to jump onto another one. I just, I don't know if you knew that ahead of time.
I know.
Okay. Anyway, Friday night, it was the Golden Rumble ticket in Totowa, New Jersey. Okay. The winner of the first ever Rumble was Joe Clean. Now, would you have picked Joe Clean to win the Rumble?
No.
He eliminated Danny Morrison. Everybody in the crowd thought the former 2-time heavyweight champion was going to emerge victorious and get that golden ticket. But congratulations to Joe Clean. He now holds the briefcase with the golden ticket, which means he can cash it in anytime between now and I believe it's next May. And he can get himself a shot at any title at ISPW. Now, let's talk about that golden ticket. Last year, Ray Kalitri won it at 80s Wrestling Con. And wouldn't you know it, Ray Kalitri decided to cash it in Friday night. But let's backtrack for a second. We have to give props to the independent superstar, GKM. He attained something that no other ISPW wrestler has, I believe, since ISPW has been around, since the late 90s. He became the first Grand Slam champion, John. Grand Slam champion. That means he won the Tri-State title, the tag team titles, and on Friday night, he won the heavyweight title. He defeated Crowbar. Unfortunately, the shining star Ray Kalitri decided to cash in on his golden ticket, and he took advantage of GKM, who was obviously spent after wrestling Crowbar for 20 minutes, and he defeated GKM and became the heavyweight champion of the world. So begrudgingly, we have to give congratulations to Ray Kalitri, his insurance advisor. He now has a new advisor, John. His name is Michael Mars. Michael Mars is what Ray is calling Poppy Insurance, I believe.
Yeah, I heard. I did see that.
He's part of it. Also, congratulations to the best thing about Ray Kalitri, obviously, Soraya, who, it was very peculiar. She was not at ringside for that heavyweight championship match tonight. She also was not at ringside for his Tri-State match that he had earlier in the evening. So Ray Kalitri tried to win the Tri-State heavyweight championship again. He tried to regain it. He lost it to Casey Navarro about a month ago. He was not successful. He was not successful in regaining that title. But you know what? It was all part of the plan, I'm sure, because he got what he wanted, and that was the heavyweight championship of the world. Another thing I want to mention, John, is that there are new tag team champions in ISPW. Sent to slaughter, Sean Donovan and Danny Moth put on a performance. They knocked off the Now, who were the reigning tag team champions, and they held the belts for over a year, I think. So now there is new blood in ISPW. So to go back to what I said before to Savage and Spencer Slade, hey, we're ready. So there was a lot of new people at Totowa on Friday night. We had about 40 wrestlers in that building, the ISPW arena. And you know, one of them I saw, John, who I think you know very well, Kayla Sparks.
Yes, I do.
I mentioned you.
Yes, I was actually going to ask you.
Yeah, I mentioned you and Billy to her, and yeah, she didn't know who you guys were. But we seemed to hit it off well, okay? And she was there because she was part of a new promotion called Fight Factory. And if I may, I'd like to just show you this. This is the premier wrestling app. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can scan it or whatever. But this app gives you access to all independent wrestling throughout the country. Also gives you some access to other promotions like I think Impact, now known as TNA, pay-per-views and whatnot. And ISPW is now on the Premier Wrestling Network. This is a network which is actually some of the men who are in charge of it, you might have heard of Freddie Prinze Jr. Yeah.
Yep.
So he is involved heavily, and it's a great service that you guys will be able to see ISPW on, as well as other promotions, and you'll be able to see podcasts on there as well. There's a lot of people out there who can put their podcasts on there. One of them I'd like to bring up is Gabby from Busted Open. She has a wonderful podcast on there, and I've seen many of her episodes. So download the app, go online, get it. Right now, I believe it was free, and then you'll be able to see content on there, and we'll see how that goes. And of course, their new promotion called the Fight Factory.
Actually, Toto Tom, we do have one comment coming in here that I would like to bring up, and it's your favorite person in the world, Greek Savage.
Yes.
And I'm sarcastic about that. And he goes, look, it's a member of the Short Bus Mafia.
Yeah, I saw that. And hey, Savage is going to be at WrestleMania this week, in 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys know that. He's going to be at that meet and greet on Friday. And John, I know there was some talk about you also possibly being there. Maybe you can shed some light as to your whereabouts for WrestleMania.
Absolutely. I will be there live for the Battleground Championship Wrestling show. Basically, the way it's going to be set up, I'll be there for the first show. I'll be there for both shows. So I'll be there. Basically, I'm parking my car there, and I'm leaving it there till the wee hours of Saturday morning.
Okay.
Because in between, I'm doing a live podcast from the 2300 Arena that day. And my two guests are none other than Timothy Embler, who is the promoter of Battleground, and some wrestler, Total Time. I'm not sure if you've heard of him, Blue Meanie.
Yes.
Yes, that will be happening, and it's going to be a experience I didn't think was ever going to happen. And I personally want to thank Tim for giving me the opportunity for being there live.
Now, how can we all get to see that? Do we have to purchase tickets? Do we just show up?
To watch the podcast, you actually, if you are not able to be in the Philly area, I will put out a link for it. It's similar like how people are watching tonight's show. That all you have to do is you go.
But I'm going to be there, so I want to know, what do I have to do to watch it live?
I think if you have a ticket for the one show, I think you get in. I think it's maybe a $5 donation or something.
Okay.
But yeah, you definitely. Oh boy, Greek Savage is having fun right now. But I'll let him soak in the comment section. You guys can read what he's saying.
Sure.
But
so John, I'm going to be there Thursday night. Okay. So my friend Butch and I are going to hit everything in a short amount of time. Okay. We're going to actually see the Blue Meanie Thursday night at 7 at McCluster's. That's a bar somewhere in Philadelphia. Starts at 7.
Yeah.
So we're going to go there. And then I think at 8:30, Bully Ray just announced today he's going to be at Wicked Wolf at 8:30. Yeah. And Mark Henry's going to have a DJ show somewhere at 10 o'clock at night. I'm not sure when. My friend and I actually have tickets to JCW and GCW at midnight that night. So it's going to be a long night Thursday, very long night. And then Friday, we're going to come around, do everything at WrestleCon. We're going to see Savage, who's going to be there. Savage is going to have Marty Jannetty and Tatanka. Okay. Those are some of the names that I know he's going to be with. There's a ton of wrestlers at WrestleCon. I mean, a ton. And the WrestleCon starts on Friday. And a ticket, if you buy a ticket, it's good for 3 days. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can go to all 3 events. I don't know what the asking price is right now. It might be somewhere around $40 or $50, but that's actually a good deal. Last year in Los Angeles, they were $50 for each day. at WrestleCon. And that was my first time ever at WrestleCon last year. And it's wall-to-wall wrestlers. It's a great time. Now, then after that, John, and before the party that you're going to be at, I want to hit that WWE World at the Philadelphia Convention Center. That's something new. It used to be, I think, WWE Access.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that used to be free. Now they're charging you $60 to get in, but apparently there's more interaction, more things to do. I'm there for the memorabilia, to be honest with you, and to see the memories. And there's some shirts there that are always cool to buy. But we're going to do that as well. And then we'll head on over to the ECW arena and we'll see you Friday night.
Yep, I will. I will be live. I think I'm going to be live from 4:30. I know the block party that's in between they're doing a show at 1 and then they're doing a show at 8.
Okay.
At the 2300 arena. The block part where I'm going to be in is going to be from 4 to 7 or 4:30 to 7. But I will be, though, at both shows. Like I said, I'm basically parking the car when I get there. And I'm not, because I'm doing the trip back the same day.
Okay. One last thing I'd like to say.
I know.
John,
go right ahead.
Regarding ISPW, the next show that they're going to have is, when is it? Hold on. It's here somewhere. I believe it's April 12th. Isn't it April 12th? At Hopakon High School. Tickets are on sale at ISPW. Yeah, April 12th, ISPWwrestling.com. April 12th is the next show. The main event right now is Ray Kalitri defending the heavyweight title against another person you're very familiar with, Rick Recon.
Yep, just had him on.
Rick never lost that title, John. He never was defeated. So this is going to be a big, big match. And you know what's funny? I remember a couple of years ago, well, probably not a couple of years ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, I actually met Ray Kalitri for the first time at a presser that ISPW had. Okay. And Rick Recon happened to be there too. And things did not go smoothly with them in their first meeting. It's something that was never shown to anybody on social media. And that always stuck in the back of my mind that those two guys definitely have something to settle between them. So it'll be interesting to see that they're finally going to be in the ring together going at it.
And absolutely. One last thing I do want to bring up, just going back to the Golden Rumble for a second. There were a few surprises as far as I know. Vicious Vicky was in the Rumble.
Big surprise.
And I know there was a debut of the Allfather.
Yes, the Allfather was there. Darius Carter, very well known throughout the independent circuit. Big surprise. Also, TJ Marconi was there. Another person who those two guys you typically see at Warriors of Wrestling. That is in Brooklyn, New York, and Staten Island, New York. So for them, and that kind of like rubs me the wrong way a little bit now that I think about it, because it's that ragtag promotion that actually showed up at ISPW back in October and interfered with our show, our 25th anniversary show. Those jabronis from Warriors of Wrestling came on to sacred ground at ISPW, the ISPW arena. Those I forgot who the names of the guys were. The Rise, the tag team, I think they showed up. They basically ran into the ring. They beat the crap out of the ref. They beat the crap out of the ring announcer. They beat up Joey Ace, okay, who I particularly didn't like at that time because he was being a jerk. Joey has since become actually a friend to me in ISPW now, and he put on a tremendous performance. I got a phone call coming in from Savage, of all people, but hold on a second. Let me finish my point. Joey Ace put on a tremendous performance at the Golden Ticket Rumble match. Him and Rick Recon drew number 1 and number 2. They were in it till the very end. So I think props has to go to both of them for their performances.
Absolutely, I totally agree. But
Sorry
total
for that.
Tom, I appreciate.
And if it wasn't for Savage calling me up, I probably would have kept on going. But let's get back on topic. Get back on topic.
No, what I was going to say is, you had the debut of Darius Carter. You had I guess you could say not the debut of Vicious Vicky, but Vicious Vicky in there. I mean, when she came out, what was the reaction like in the room?
Shock, first off. The only thing that equaled it in shock value was Carter showing up, I think, number 27. But Vicky came in somewhere around 23, maybe. It was a 30-man rumble, so she was in at like 22 or 23. We have not yet seen intergender wrestling at ISPW yet. So yeah, it was a shock. She did very well. Very well.
And
you could also
one thing
see this on YouTube, by the way. It is on YouTube, the entire Rumble match.
Oh, okay, because I thought they said I think they're putting it up later this week.
I stand corrected. The Hackettstown show is already on YouTube for free, but you're right. Later on this week, it'll be the Golden Ticket match. Yes. You're right.
The one thing I will say about Vicky is I've said this for a while now, and I will put her over forever. She has really become, I would say, arguably one of the best wrestlers. I'm not even saying man or woman. I'm saying one of the best wrestlers because of her storytelling. And you don't know, and this whole character change that she's had, it's intriguing because, like, okay, it's like, well, where does she go with it? And I'm all for it.
She definitely changes herself up, which is what I like the most about her. But the character that we saw on Friday night came out to the old entrance music, and that was the Vicious Vicky that we all were introduced to. Now, there's a darker side to her, a much darker side that has come out. A much darker. Yeah.
No, I do know that. I realize that because especially when I see her a couple of times at Pro Wrestling Magic, and it's just a very different feeling. And the funny thing is, I thought about this tonight. The last ISPW show I was at it's been a while since I've been to an ISPW show. The last one I was at was the one that they did last year at the Totowa Fair.
Totowa Day.
Totowa Day, yeah. Totowa Day. That was my last ISPW show I was at. But I
over
can
1,000
say though,
people, man. Probably about 1,500 people were there for that.
Oh no, I believe me. I remember when we had Rick on, I was talking to Rick about it, and I said the biggest thing I remember from that was I felt sorry for them because you had the sun right on top of them.
Yeah, better than rain though.
Oh no, exactly. But I will say that
I was worried about the ring getting wet and them slipping. I mean, there was even talks about building like some sort of canopy over the top. But, in speaking with some of the promoters that do this, daily, they said, well, June has typically been a very, very good weather month. And that's when we have Totowa Day. It's always in like that first, second week of June. We've had it for 4 years in a row, and it's been beautiful every single time we've had it. So, but aside from that, they do work in conditions that are torrential sometimes. It's something that they do. They're wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
They're the baddest of the baddest, toughest of the toughest.
I know. I totally agree. I will be the next ISPW show I will be at 80s WrestleCon.
Yeah, that's going to be a great event. It's at the Menon Arena. It's 80s Con 4. And we're going to have a great show afterwards. I think we're calling it Rock and Wrestling 3. I don't know if there's been any. You'll have to excuse me. I think there was some matches that were already announced. I don't have them in front of me, but it's still a ways off. And I like to take things slow. I like to look at what's happening next. And what's happening next is the April 12th show at Hopakon. The problem with Tommy Fierro is that he just keeps on putting event after event after event. He keeps that truck moving, right? I mean, he's a very hardworking person. He's always looking for a venue. I heard he was actually out to breakfast, okay, the night after ISPW that we had an event on Friday night. I heard he was out to breakfast the next day, and while he was eating his fifth plate of bacon, he was asking the person of the establishment, "Can we run a show here? I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'd like to do an ISPW show." That's Tommy Fierro. That's what he does.
No, he's one of the most hardworking guys out there.
Mhm.
And then what was I going to say? I know the one match that was announced is Richard Holiday taking on Darius Carter. That match just got announced
tremendous.
today.
That was today, huh? Okay,
Yeah,
that's tremendous.
And then I know they're doing, I guess, piggybacking off of Fight Factory. They're doing that. Nothing's official yet, but the challenge was laid out today of Team Sergio versus Team Josh Chernoff.
Oh, okay.
So definitely look forward to that. And then I know, then last question I got, then I'll let you go after this. Are you going to be buying the pink robe when you're down in Philly?
John, did you hear me calling the Busted Open a couple weeks ago?
Yes, I did.
Well, it was my wife's birthday. I got her a pink robe for her birthday, and I'm wearing that pink robe to the Busted Open party. I said on the air that that's what I'm going to do, and I'm also going to be first in line.
Yeah, all I know is it's going to be, I got to see, depending on how Friday goes. I might see about staying at a hotel Friday just so that I can be at this party on Saturday. But no, because the last Busted Open party I was at was the 10th anniversary one.
5 years ago.
Yep, over in
that was in New York City.
And that one was fun because the biggest thing I remember from that was also because Dave had seen me in the crowd, and somehow in that crowd, there was, I think, 600 people in the crowd at that point. And I remember he starts like having me come this way. And at one point, I'm literally standing, like you have the stage here. Like I'm looking at the back of Mark Henry's head. Right. Like there is a picture, if I can find it, I'll send it to you, where I think they had Nick Aldis and Camille on.
Okay.
And you can see me standing right behind Mark Henry.
So you're going to be there on Saturday, April 6th?
Depending on if I can get a hotel for the night, then yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a long drive. You're in Albany, right?
I'm in Long Island.
Long Island.
I'm Long Island.
Okay.
I know I've spent a lot of time up in Albany for the shows I go to.
Right.
But no, I'm Long Island. I am Long Island.
Well, I'll keep my fingers crossed. I mean, at least we'll see you at Menon Arena, which is May 4th.
Yes.
80s wrestling.
And also either when I see you next Friday at Battleground or at for 80s Wrestling Con. I know it's been a while, and I will finally have your bag of coffee for you. Thank
you very much. Yes.
Yes.
I'm glad it's still in production.
Yes, it is. It is. But again, total with I've said this before, about Front Row Mafia. You guys are a great group of guys. And I'm very appreciative of the fact that you guys have kind of brought me into the Front Row Mafia.
Of course. You should join us at 80s Wrestling Con for the Rock and Wrestling show that happens afterwards. Honorary member for the night of the Front Row Mafia, John Blaine.
I will definitely be there. But again,
thanks for having me on the show today, John.
Absolutely. And then the door is always open for you to come back on whenever you would like.
Appreciate it. Thanks to all my fans out there, all three of them. Bye.
Yep. All right, Total Tom. Have a good night. guys, that was Total with Tom. And guys, like I said, ISPW, I said this before, is one of the better companies out there. It is, I mean, I can't really say much more about it with them. It is really, really, really good. And by the way, Greek Savage, if you're watching, I can't believe I'm about to say this. The door is open for you to come on the show tonight. Let me know if you'd like to come on. I will send you the link because I kept reading your comments and yeah, I was gonna say, do you not like the fact that that you're not the one talking right now? I mean, people can hear you from 10 miles away. So Greek, if you're mad enough, Greek, hop on. I'll send you the link if you would like. But because Greek, I am taking the side of the Front Row Mafia on this, and Around the Ropes will defend Total with Tom. I know some people say Total with Tom sucks, but I will defend Total with Tom. But let's keep things moving here. Actually, let me go through the comments because there was quite a bit of comments that came in. Randy chimes in here and goes, Randy Land is open. Got another comment coming in here from Dan Lehman saying Richard Holiday versus Darius Carter at 80s WrestleCon. Yep. He also said, I can't even read this right now. Oh, Vicious Vicky. Oh, okay. Vicious Vicky will be taking on Ava Everett for the women's title. Yes, there is. So we go through some of these quickly. Again, happy birthday to as you found out tonight, the honorary leader of the Front Row Mafia. Let's see here. Hot take: Total Tom is bigger name than Savage. Dan, I agree with you 100%. And Savage, just to go back to what you were saying earlier about Slade giving me a savage welcome, a savage greeting. I'm going to say this right now. Spencer Slade likes me, so you're out of luck on that one, dude. But I want to keep things moving here because now I want to get this what's going on. Actually, before we get into that, I want to just do a quick promotional thing here for a hot second. Give me a second. We were talking before about ISPW. They have a show coming up April 12th, but we got some stuff coming up this week that I'd like to get to. Starting off with Ace Pro Wrestling as they present Destined for Greatness happening this Saturday live from the Teaneck. I think I can't even read the freaking address. It's so tiny. It's going to be in Teaneck, so definitely go check it out. Obviously, we know the main event will be Rick Recon taking on Darius Carter. There's going to be a lot of action tonight, and also the empanadas will be there. April 13th, happening in Rome, New York. Immortal Championship Wrestling presents Road to Immortality. On that card, we will see Shane Stenson taking on Pat Sawyer. A steel cage match between Team Friendship and Edge of Hope. And it was just announced today that Christina Marie will be defending her ICW Women's Championship against a debuting Adina Steele. Let's keep things moving here because happening then on April 20th is Queen of North. Unfortunately, I do not have a poster for them. I apologize. But happening April 27th, Dynasty Wrestling presents Brace for Impact. Not sure of the exact location yet, so I'm just going off of this. So Dynasty will be back on April 27th. June 2nd, I just want to make this mention, over at Pandora's Box, over in New Jersey. You have the opportunity to go meet Lita from 12 to 3 p.m. It is 191 Route 15 in Lafayette, New Jersey. I have not had the experience yet of going to Pandora's Box. If you do, I would definitely take the opportunity without a doubt. Let's keep things moving here. Happening July 13th, Immortal Championship Wrestling presents Immortal Things 5 live from the Utica University Nexus Center. Starring on that show will be the one and only Minoru Suzuki. Not sure yet what he's going to be doing that day, but we shall see. Let's keep things moving here. Over at the Wrestling Universe, first happening April 27th, La Resistance which is Rob Conway. I forgot the other two guys' names off the top of my head. I apologize. They are going to be signed from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Photo ops are 25. Signed items are 25. Combos are 40. You can do a super combo for $100. Again, the Wrestling Universe's address is 199-07 34th Avenue over in Flushing, New York. Oh, happening on May 12th. Sorry, my bad. May 12th from 1:30 to 4:30. He is the world's strongest man. He is a champion. He is a champion, not one, not two, but three different sports. WWE Hall of Famer, currently working out for AEW, the one and only Mark Henry. Photo ops are 40, signed items are 40, combos are 60. Again, there's the address. And like we mentioned before, ISPW will be doing a show, Rockin' Wrestling, right after 80s WrestleCon 4 on May 4th. It was just announced today, Darius Carter will be taking on the one and only Richard Holiday. Speaking about Darius Carter, I do want to make a mention. Congratulations to him on the fact that he won the Super 8 tournament this past weekend. He is now, I think, the only wrestler to ever win that tournament twice. So it was definitely... So like I said, it was definitely, that was definitely interesting, to say the least. So again, congratulations to Darius on the win and all that stuff. But like I said, Greek, if you're watching and you like to hop on, you're more than welcome to. You know what, Greek, I'll even tag you in here. How about that? I'll even tag you. Come on. Okay, let's see if that does it. But yeah, like I said, folks, I want to get now to what's going on over in WWE because, yeah, Monday night really was a really good show. That is the nicest way I can put it. Now this leads to an interesting thing, though, because the argument can be made for this past Monday Night Raw that it could have come off like the goddamn go home show, because you had, I mean, yes, of course we knew we were gonna have Punk there, but look at what happened in whatchamacallit when it comes to Cody and Rock. And this is one of the things I want to get into right now, because I've had this thought for a while now that Cody and Rock, that Rock is kind of overshadowing Roman. Because when you look at the whole picture, Roman, main event of night number 2 is Roman and Cody. However, coming off of what we saw Monday night, Roman and Cody have become an afterthought at this point. And it's become more of Cody and Rock. and all that stuff. It's something that I mean, I give WWE a lot of credit. They are really doing a good job. They are really doing probably the best work I've seen from them in a long time. And it's incredible that you see what they're doing. But like I said, where does this go now? And next week on the show will be our official WrestleMania 40 predictions show with probably one of the biggest known guys when it comes to cosplaying, but the guy who cosplays as Dusty Rhodes will be joining us. I figure how appropriate, Cody finishing his story, why not have Dusty on with us? So that'll be next week. But thinking about it now, I don't know. This is probably the first time I can think of in a long time where there's a lot of intrigue going into this main event of Cody and Roman. Even though, mind you, Roman has done not a lot of work in the build up to this match. It's been mostly Rock and Cody. And that is what's so interesting about this is it's the fact that you got Rock, who basically came in, was gunning to be a babyface, and all of a sudden you had everything that happened, and then boom, he's now, I think now he's arguably one of the biggest heels in the company. But now it's where do you go from here? And I think what's going to be interesting to see is what's going to happen next week in Brooklyn, because of the fact that let's be honest, it's the last Raw before Mania. It is the last, and that's where it's going to be. And that's where it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. That's where it's going to be very, very, very interesting, because that's where I think he's going to have to really, just give me 1 second here, guys. I'm just taking care of one quick thing here. Hold on 1 second. Because the problem, like I said, the problem's going to be the problem is going to be what the aftermath is going to be. Because coming out of Mania, when we get to that April 7th, what's going to be the next step? Are we going to get, is it going to be Cody and Rock? Because that's where I think everybody's thinking it's going to head, is Cody and Rock. But then on the flip side, it's, then I know Roman's probably going to take some time off after Mania. I think they already said Rock's taking time off after Mania as well. So the issue is going to be, then what do you do with Cody? Do you go the route? And I think that's what's kind of lingering with a lot of this, is if you're going to have Rock past Mania, then you just do Rock and Cody head into SummerSlam. More than likely, you probably won't, because I think they said his next movie he's filming will be from May till, I think, May till August, I think. So realistically, you're not getting, if you get Rock coming back, it won't be till at the earliest of, speaking of the man who was talking a lot before, the one, the only, Savage is joining us. What's going on?
How you doing, buddy? What's going on?
Nothing. I'm doing great. First of all, I was laughing at the comments you were saying before when we had your best friend Toto Atama on.
There's nothing funny about any of those comments. That's all, real talk. I mean, there's something in the water in New Jersey, especially in the Totowa area. Primarily when you go past Hoboken, the water past Hoboken all the way out to the edge, all the way up to Atlantic City. Anybody that drinks that water, right, which is pretty much anybody that lives there, or if they shower in that water, they wash their hands. There's something going on, because the IQ, the average IQ in New Jersey, probably the lowest in the country.
In certain parts of Jersey, I would agree with you on that.
I mean, we're talking about like dumber than dog shit. Understand what I'm telling you? I mean, dog shit on the side of the street has a higher IQ than the average person living in New Jersey.
Like I said, in certain parts of Jersey, I would agree with you with that 100%.
I would say it's about 99% of New Jersey, but you did invite me in here. What's up, man? You want to pick my brain or something, or you have a question for Savage? Or do you just want, you just want a good-looking guy on the stream for once? Is that what it is? I get
You're
it.
Funny. you're funny. No, I just, figured.
Well, you're a
figured
good-looking guy. I'm talking about your guests. A lot of them are hideous creatures.
I appreciate that.
Especially your co-host, Ryan Patterson. What a piece of shit. Or Peterson, I don't know. What a piece of shit.
Well, unfortunately, Ryan Patterson, is taking some time away from the show.
Peterson, it doesn't matter what his name is, all right? He's going nowhere real quick. You might as well jump into that short bus and join that little joke of a mafia.
But
you ready for WrestleMania? Is that what this is about?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What I was talking about more, and I know you have your show coming up at 11.
Yes. Later tonight, 11 o'clock. We'll be talking about, obviously, a very big week in WWE. A lot of people were very excited about last night. The Rock is probably the one person that I have nothing bad to say about because, look at him. All these years later, able to get back on the show that he was running over 2 decades ago and actually being better than what he was then. Coming on Monday Night Raw, coming on SmackDown, and literally making every single person on the roster look like a cockroach, including the Tribal Chief.
Well, I want to ask you this question because this has been brought up quite a bit. Do you think Rock is overshadowing Roman at this point?
Absolutely. 1 billion%. Yeah, of course. He's been on TV more than Roman has this year.
But now, and this is one thing I was talking about, right before you hopped on, is what's the plan? Because I think out of any years of me being a wrestling fan, I don't think I've had more intrigue than I do now.
Well, you're interested because there's a good story they're telling. There's a lot of storytelling going on with a lot of different possibilities, a lot of different scenarios. Nobody has an idea about exactly what's going to happen, but everybody wants to talk about what they think is going to happen. Everybody has their assumptions, their speculations. But I'll tell you this, from my experience working close with bloodline members, real life bloodline members who are related to Roman Reigns, related to The Rock, Roman's not losing that title this year. If you were the boss of $1 billion company and your cousin happened to work at this company, are you going to take food out of his fridge or are you going to make sure he has all the food he wants to eat?
No, I see what you're saying with that. And honestly, thinking about it and seeing how they've been pushing this whole thing, I don't know if finishing the story for Cody is the right way to go.
Even if you finish the story for Cody, it's going to be a tainted version of the story. Especially if people come out and help him, like Stone Cold or John Cena, or even if The Rock turns on Roman, or someone from the bloodline turns on Roman, or 3 other bloodline members show up and they turn on The Rock and Roman and Solo, and we have a bloodline war that nobody even saw coming, like Jacob Fatu or Lance, who, by the way, could be signed right now. There's a lot of talk, a lot of kayfabe going on. A lot of people don't want to open their mouths. We don't know what we're going to see on night 2. Night 1 is going to be great. Don't get me wrong. Truth about night 1 is if I do go to night 1, it will be one of 2 ways, either backstage or at 10 p.m. just to watch the Rock match. Because I don't give a crap about anything else on that card night 1. Night 2 is the night. Night 2 is the interesting night because that's when we're going to get a glimpse of what story they're going to tell. Whose story they're going to tell. But I'll say this. No matter what happens to Cody Rhodes on Sunday night, everything that's happened to him thus far in his WWE run this year is magic. You couldn't script it better. You couldn't write it better. You couldn't ask for anything better. What The Rock is doing for Cody Rhodes, you can't pay for that kind of popularity that's going to come his way, even if he loses. Cody's going to come out of this the biggest superstar in the company. And when it's all said and done, whether it's a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, Cody Rhodes is going to be that guy. It's just not going to be this year. But what The Rock is doing for him, man, is next level. It's fun to watch. And it just shows you how much The Rock loves professional wrestling, because I'd have to imagine out of everybody that's been on Raw over the last 25 years, no one is busier than The Rock. Not even close. Yet here he is taking all this time away from making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars from just showing up to a store, filming a commercial, whatever it is that is on his docket. And he's got a lot on his docket, a lot. Takes his time to make sure he promotes WrestleMania the right way. And I'm sure it has something to do with him being a director of the board. But nonetheless, man, it just shows you his dedication and love.
And I agree with you 100%. I think when it's all said and done, Cody. But my whole thing is this, though. It's like you look at what happened last night on Monday Night Raw. I mean, the ending was probably one of the best ending. Like, I thought last night was the go home show. I really thought last night was the go home show.
I could see how you feel that way.
And between, you know, what happened. I mean, even the fact that Rock came out, and first of all, there's a shot that somebody took. I saw it on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, where it's not the hard cam side, but it's where you see Rock coming down the ramp. And it absolutely blew me away.
Oh, the visual of the lightning coming out of the small arena, kind of like the way MSG does their entrances. They have that tight little entrance. You walk short walk to the ring too.
And it is, I mean, what they're doing, and I agree. And it's probably, what's funny is it's not only that match. I mean, you got Gunther and Sami Zayn there right now that has a lot of intrigue behind it.
No, there's no intrigue there. I'll tell you why there's no intrigue there. You know why? Because it's not Chad Gable. Because it's not Chad Gable. Sami Zayn last year had everything he needed to earn that WrestleMania opportunity. Main event opportunity as well of night one. Well deserved last year. Usologist, Kevin Owens. Great storytelling all year long. What the hell has he done this year to deserve this match with Gunther?
Nothing.
Exactly. And now you're intrigued by this? You're intrigued that Sami Zayn did nothing and has the biggest singles match of his silly little career.
Well, I'm intrigued by it for one reason. I wonder if we're going to get a heel Chad Gable out of this.
Maybe, but listen, at the end of the day, I think why they did what they did is because Gunther is not going to lose. And I think Chad Gable is next in line for that IC title, but it's not time yet. They're trying to ride out Gunther's reign just a little bit longer. So they didn't want Gable to just take another L to Gunther right now at Mania, just so that he beats him later on. I think they're saving that for SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series, maybe one of the big Saudi shows, but there's no way. So what you're telling me is you think that Gable's going to come out and screw Gunther and help Sami Zayn win. Is that what you think is going to happen?
No. I think it's the other way. I think he's
Sami. He's going to help. He's going to screw Sami. And how silly is it that, you know, you have Sami Zayn who just won that whole thing to become the number one contender, but then he loses to Bronson Reed yesterday on Monday Night Raw.
It's not good booking.
How does that make any sense?
To me, you have a guy who wins the number one contender, and he's about to go into, I would say, his biggest match of his career. You want to make him as strong as you can going into that match.
In my opinion, WrestleMania is once a year, and it gives you the opportunity to take a superstar and transcend him into another level, or her. Gable has been on a run where you can clearly see the fans are behind him. Apparently not behind him enough to start a hashtag revolution and change the whole main event of WrestleMania like the fans did. Not enough like Cody's hashtag Cody. But Gable has had a huge response. The fans are there. They're ready. Especially the real dedicated hardcore wrestling fans. They love Gable. And you know why? Because he's a professional wrestler. He's a great professional wrestler. One of the best pound-for-pound bodies in the ring active today. So to me, it's like you had that opportunity. Gunther already broke the IC record. There's no other record to break. So, I mean, the only way I could see them not doing the booking with Gable is, hey, they want Gunther to break the record. He broke the record already. The record's his. It's not going anywhere. Give Gable his moment. Him beating Gunther at WrestleMania, that's a moment. And they can't recreate it. No matter what they do, they shit the bed on that already.
Unless the only thing I'm thinking is they want to wait till after Bash at they do the show in Germany.
In my opinion, the only thing that can remotely save this now, we still have some time. We have less than 2 weeks. If they can find a way to insert Gable into this match and turn it into a triple threat.
I could see that. I mean, I
don't think it's going to happen, but that to me is the only way you could save this whole fucking mishmash from being a shit show as far as that IC match goes. I think the IC match deserved more attention than the tag team title match. I don't think the tag team should be a ladder match at all. I think it's going to get messy and it's going to get sloppy. And the reason I say that is, no offense to any of the tag teams that are in it right now, but I think the wrong tag teams are in it. The fact that the Creed brothers aren't in this match, you've been pushing them like absolute animals on NXT for a long time. They come make their main roster debut. They're smashing people week after week, smashing people. All of a sudden now, we're going to just let them lose to your boys because you want to see your boys at WrestleMania, DIY or whatever. No offense to DIY, but they're not getting the reaction that they need. And then out of the Creed brothers, I can understand the Creed brothers not getting the reaction. And that's because they just started 2 years ago, not even. DIY, though, they've been doing this for like 10 years in WWE, and they're still getting no fan reaction. Multiple arenas, they come out, no fan reaction. Next time they have a match on Raw, don't even watch the match. Sit there and watch the crowd. See if anybody gives a shit. See if you see anybody standing up. See how many people you see on their cell phones who are even watching the match because they don't care.
And I mean, I agree with you 100%. I've been saying on this show that when I saw the matches and I saw the Creed brothers were taking on DIY, I'm like, why? I'm like, this is the opportune moment right here. And
makes no sense to me that the Creed brothers aren't in that match. No sense. Like as soon as that happened, I was like, I can't even take that match serious anymore.
I mean, we all know why Awesome Truth is in it. It's hopefully
because they're probably going to win. Yeah, they're probably going to win, and I'm okay with that because I love R-Truth, and he's probably doing some of the best work of his career again right now, live in front of our eyes. But again, it's in a joking matter. You know, Ron is somebody that I feel should have had a title shot a long time ago. When he was in his prime. He never got it. Well, I'm not talking about the 24/7 either, man.
I'm curious to see who the last two tag teams are going to be, though.
The fact that it's not Indus Sher and it's not Creed Brothers is appalling to me. Indus Sher, you were pushing the hell out of them too. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe one got hurt. Creed Brothers, no idea why you didn't pull the trigger on this team who obviously deserved that WrestleMania spot. They've been busting their ass and putting on bangers on NXT for you for over a year. I don't get it. I don't get it. And for what? To sell some T-shirts for R-Truth? That's what this comes down to. At the end of the day, it's all about selling some merch sometimes. You know, Judgment Day merch has probably slowed down compared to, what's going to happen with R-Truth. R-Truth gets involved, all of a sudden people are buying those T-shirts that he made.
And what's going to end up happening is, Awesome Truth is going to win the titles. They're going to have like if they have a long run with the titles, I'm going to be surprised.
I don't think they'll have a long run with the title. But listen, it wouldn't shock me if Judgment Day retains, though, because that's kind of what's been going on with Judgment Day. They've been finding a way to retain these titles. You have Rhea Ripley as your world champion, who I think is going to go on to beat Becky Lynch in a great match. You have Damian Priest, who's holding the Money in the Bank briefcase, may or may not cash in because he still has about 100 days still to cash it in. So no one's saying that he's going to cash it in at Mania. He hasn't said anything about it. He might not, but if he does, that adds even more gold to their roster. Then you have Dirty Dom now. Apparently now they're getting last minute booking. All of a sudden now he's getting involved with his dad's business again. If you saw what happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, I get it. I did see that. And honestly, we did that already.
I know. But that just goes to show you they got nothing for him right now. And I don't know why. Maybe they think he's still a little green. I think he's improved dramatically over the last 2 years, especially the last year. I think he's actually been putting on surprisingly entertaining matches as of late. So I don't know why you wouldn't pull the trigger on Dom, who before The Rock showed up was your hottest heel in the company.
Well, I'll say something right now. I think if you want to do anything with him, I'm not saying put him in the IC title, but what about put him in the US title wouldn't be a bad thing.
No, not at all. But apparently he's friends with Logan. It looks like he's trying to befriend all the scumbags of the WWE, which that's an okay storyline. Makes sense. He's a heel bad guy. But my point is, you have this guy who comes out and he's an absolute heat magnet. Why you don't have a program worked with him early, like after Royal Rumble, like something they could have came up with something better. Him going against a babyface or someone that they want to make a babyface.
Yeah, I just think to me it makes no sense at all. But again,
absolutely not.
I'm just curious to see what they do with going into Mania, and then quickly, just with AEW. Then I'm actually gonna wrap up the show here in a minute.
Could you do me a favor and pop up this comment right here? I just realized Dan Lemon or Lemon, whatever the hell his name is. I know him. He's that the guy that does the board at ISPW. Right? He does the music and the lights and the fog and all that. What did he say over there? Hot take. Toto Tom is bigger than Savage. Hot take. He said he has a hot take. Hot take. Toto Tom is a bigger name than Savage. Maybe in your small, demented, short bus mafia brain, Toto Tom's a bigger name than Savage. He's not bigger than me physically. He's definitely not bigger than me mentally. And if we're talking about the testicular fortitude, he's got none of it left. His wife took it all. Took it all. Shut your ass up, Dan. John, how do you deal with some of these people? How do you deal with these people?
Drinking a lot of water.
How about your coffee? Your coffee's pretty good. I had some of your coffee last week.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
It was actually surprise. I was surprised. I thought you poisoned me.
I would never do that.
But I was still alive when I was done. So I was like, oh, okay. He must like me.
I would never.
Don't say never. Never say never. You never know. One day, my client, Spencer Slade, might be beating up your favorite wrestler in the world, and then you won't like me so much.
Actually, it's funny. I was just actually doing the camera work for your client, Spencer Slade, at the Immortal
And of course, and he was killing people, wasn't he? Like normal? Business as usual?
He did that. Honestly, that match, it was him, Sean Carr, and Facade in that triple threat. And that one was one hell of a match.
It's probably match of the night because my client was in it. Spencer Slade, the best wrestler alive today.
It was definitely I would say probably because there was a lot of good matches on that card. But that one in particular was good. But that one also going into it, I kind of had the expectation that it was going to be a good match no matter what.
Of course, when Spencer Slade is involved, how are you not going to think it's going to be a good match? The guy's a monster. He's out here beating up Bloodline members left and right. He just beat the shit out of Alpha Jr., left him in a heap yet again. He had a little help from Snitsky, but Snitsky was talking a lot of crap on his bullhorn. He barely even wrestled because he knows he's got Slade. Slade's going to do all the work. But anyway, listen, long story short, 2024. I want you to pay attention because I have Slade lined up all summer long. And we have about, I'd say there's probably 5 or 6 different titles coming our way by the end of the summer.
So we'll be calling Spencer Slade title collector.
Well, he's more than a title collector. He's the best independent wrestler in the world today. He's the active independent wrestler of this year. And before the year's up, who knows where else you're going to see Spencer Slade. Wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere in Orlando.
Wouldn't shock me at all.
Wouldn't shock me either, man. Wouldn't shock me. But I know a lot of people out there, they are going to be shocked when they see Savage on the USA Network or Netflix or wherever the hell NXT is next year. I don't know. But I'll be there. CW. Oh, that's right. It's official. CW. Well, hopefully they up the rating a little bit for Savage. Hopefully we can get out of this PG crap. That's what I'm praying The Rock is doing right now with everything he's been doing, is showing us a glimpse of what the future WWE is going to look like. And you know what, John? Looks good.
Yeah, I have a comment that I'm seeing here right now.
Of course we have a comment. Someone's always got to open their mouth. What are they babbling about now?
Oh, it's John Van Decker from Front Row Mafia. Who wants to know who is this?
He wants to know who is who.
I guess who is you?
Who is me? That moron knows exactly who I am. He can sit there and pretend like he doesn't know who or what I am. He doesn't want to accept what I am. He doesn't want to accept that I am the change this business not only requires, but so desperately needs, John, because I'm not afraid to go up to the owners of any promotion anywhere in the world and tell them exactly what they're doing wrong. Why? Because I have a better mind for this business than anyone that you will ever meet, John.
I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
You better not.
I believe me, I won't, because I know your client, and I know he could twist me like a pretzel.
Hey, ask Tony what he did to him. You should ask my intern what happened to him. You know, my intern had the nerve to come up to me, and he actually got upset about his pay. He doesn't realize that he doesn't get paid because he's just a shitty intern. And he had the nerve to smack a cigarette out of my hand. Now, I can't tell you about what happened because I don't want to, get in trouble, legally speaking. But just say this. The kid's still in the ER after what Slade did to him.
Dad chimes in here and goes, the loudest guy in the room usually has the most to prove and no way to prove it.
Dan, apparently you're too stupid to understand English. And obviously, I don't even think you leave New Jersey. If you came to New York City, you'd see what's happening in New York City. If you came to Pennsylvania, you'd see what's happening in Pennsylvania. But if you pay attention, you'll find me this year in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Florida, and California. You're going to see me in NWA. You're going to see me in NXT. And before it's said and done, I'll be telling Triple H how to spend all that money. From the Around the Ropes podcast to Monday Night Raw, that's me. I'm the guy who went from the phone calls, calling David LaGreca, telling him what I thought. I'm that guy who got so motivated. What am I doing? I'm not a fan. I'm not a mark like the rest of these idiots. I'm better than that. I've been in this business. I was a wrestler for 5 years. Long time ago. Before YouTube or Twitch or any of this other shit was even a thing. I started wrestling before most of these guys that are out there wrestling, before all of them. My mind for this business goes back 40 years now. I have 40 years of knowledge and experience, and with the help of the Greek gods by my side, a lot is coming my way, John. I don't need to tell you everything because I'd rather you just see it. It's going to be more enjoyable for you to be like, damn, I know that guy. Fuck, look where, fuck, I can call him right now. I know him. Maybe I'll pick up. Maybe I won't. For you, I might. I like you. But for guys like that, morons who want to say stupid things in Facebook comments, don't you dare. Don't you dare come to me in like 5, 10, 15 years with your stupid 8x10s and your memorabilia and your Savage action figures. All of them. How was my run? I didn't have a WWF run, sir. I have a dark side of the ring kind of story. My life took me somewhere else. But bottom line is this. I came back just in time to proclaim my true role in this business, which is to basically, I'll put it to you like this. This is my job description in 10 years, what it's going to be. I'm going to be the guy that goes into the locker room, takes a good look at all the talent, knows exactly who to pair with who to work with who to fire, who needs more intensity, who needs more training. I'm going to create magic. I'm going to tell better stories than anything you've ever seen on TV. And it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And that's soon. Very, very soon, my friend. I'm that guy. I'm a producer. I'm a manager. I'm a content creator. I'm an advisor. You can call me an advocate if you want. I don't like to use that word. I think Paul Heyman has killed that word. But bottom line is this. Paul Heyman never wrestled a day in his damn life. He's doing pretty good for himself. I actually wrestled. I'm actually better looking than Paul Heyman. I have a better voice than Paul Heyman. And I wrestled. So what I am is a better, sexier, more intelligent, more creative version of Paul Heyman. And younger. Let's be honest. Paul's old now. He's how many more years does Paul have left before Spencer Slade puts him to rest?
I'm just look at the comments here right now. I'll pull some of these comments up. Dan says, sounds like a wish.com Paulie.
That's about as original as he can get, man. Like most of the fans that I deal with on a regular basis, intelligence isn't something that's in high supply in New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? Very, very limited supply intelligence.
Again, like I said, in certain parts of New Jersey, I would agree with you.
No, John, it's 95% of New Jersey. Come on, stop it.
Oh, and then John says I'll have to read this from here. He goes, I really hope this nice yet angry man took his blood pressure pills. I don't like to see strangers have strokes on the air.
Listen, he has a better chance of taking a stroke while he goes to the bathroom than I ever do of having a stroke. I'm in top tier health, primarily because I have Greek DNA, so it automatically makes me better than you, smarter than you, healthier than you, and definitely richer than you. So do me a favor, go take a look in the mirror and try to not kill yourself tonight.
But no, you're saying more about how
you laughed. You liked it.
Oh, I'm just laughing at this whole thing because I'm like, knowing that you guys are both going to be at the battleground thing next Friday. I'm like, I can just see this right. I'm like, I'll just have my phone.
See, here's the difference between me and him. I'll be at the battleground making money while he's spending money. You understand the difference?
And Greek, I'll be at the battleground too, but I'm not making money. But I'm doing a live podcast.
Well, I saw that, and congratulations to you for getting that achievement at the historic 2300 arena. I'm sure that's something that you're going to be very proud of for a long time to come. But I think that's just the beginning of your wrestling journey over here. I'm not exactly quite sure who or what you are in this business yet. You might just be a journalist. You might be more. I don't know. We're going to find out, though, John. But I feel like you do have a place here in the wrestling world, and it's going to be your job to figure out exactly what that place is, where it is. It's up to you, John. You're going to go as far as you take yourself. Guys like the idiot in the chat, that guy isn't going to write my paycheck. That guy isn't going to help me get to where I want to go. The only person who's going to help me, John, is me. And you need to do that same thing. Help yourself. You can go as far as you want to go in this business, and don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise.
Oh, no, I completely agree. And the biggest thing is, about going how far you can. I mean, look at me with my weight loss right now.
Yeah, you're down quite a lot, man. It was like 60 pounds from when you first started?
65 as of today. I hit 270, so
that's impressive, man.
If I do the math quickly,
keep it up, man.
Thank you. If I do the math quickly,
I've done the weight loss thing a long time ago. There was once upon a time where I was up to 425 pounds, if you can believe that. And I woke up one day and I said, and the problem is I didn't even look 425 pounds. People looked at me and thought I weighed like 275. I'm like, no, I am 425 right now because I carried the weight well. But yeah, I had to make certain lifestyle changes, and I've never looked back. I've never crossed that 300 threshold ever again. Right now, I'm probably sitting at a clean 275. I don't even think I look 275 now. Most people think I'm 240, 250. But I rock it well, just like you're rocking your weight well. And I'm sure when you get to your goal, whatever your goal is, you're going to maintain it.
Oh, absolutely. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't plan on ever hitting 300 pounds again.
Well, that's not in my
plan. Not in my plan. Not in. I mean, I had a guy today at work who actually looked at me. I kid you not, and he asked me how much I'm down to. And I told him what I'm down to, and he goes, "I don't believe you." I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Well, tell him to kiss your ass.
Well, the funny thing is, he looked at me. He goes, "You look like you're about 220."
Okay.
I'm like,
so he thought you were. Yeah, thought you were less.
Yeah. So I was stuff like that. I'm very appreciative of.
A lot of big guys, we carry it well, man. Especially when you're used to it and you've been carrying it for a long time. I'm sure Like me, we were both big kids, right? We're not like going to school being the smallest kids in school. You learn how to wear that weight well.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with what you're saying. One quick thing I want to touch on with AEW, then I'm going to wrap it up because I know you got your show. You're about to start in about an hour or so.
I'm trying to watch NXT right now. Just trying to keep up with the times. Josh Briggs just came up with a big win.
And I'm actually going to be going to the gym right after the show.
Sounds like a plan.
Adam Copeland, your new TNT champion. What's your thoughts on it?
I actually really enjoyed the final match. If it's the final match, I wasn't excited about the match because we've seen so many different matches already from them, and I thought they were done. But the last match, they did it well. It was one of the better I Quit matches I've seen in a while. I'm happy for Edge in Canada. Nothing but love for Edge, man. He deserved it.
And I thought it was the one spot I liked was when they were on the outside. They were on the outside most of the match, but when they were in the penalty box.
Oh, with the hockey jerseys? Yeah, that was very nice.
I popped on that, but Greg, gonna wrap up the show now. Actually, I appreciate you hopping on for a bit.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you having me. Keep doing your thing. Keep killing it. Tell Ryan he's a piece of shit. And everybody else in this chat over here, just don't listen to what they say because they don't matter, John. The only people that matter are you, yourself, and you. Okay? In your mind. My mind, the only thing that matters is Spencer Slade and making a lot of money, which we're going to do this year. Thank you for having me, John.
Savage, before you go, what do you have coming up you'd like to promote? And anything you have coming up, you can promote it.
Sure, absolutely. We have WrestleCon in a couple of weeks. I'll be there all 3 days with Marty Jannetty, Tatanka, Black Dahlia, Zaya Brookside, Teal Piper, who's the daughter of Roddy Piper. Also with Demos. I have Kill Billy. If you're not familiar with him, he's going to be famous soon as well. We have obviously the Battleground event on the Friday. I think that's after WrestleCon. Whatever the hell they're calling that thing. They have so many events going on at the 2300 Arena over the weekend. They have a tribute to ECW. They have the tailgate parties going on. I'm going to be all over Philly. I'm going to be all over WrestleMania. I'll say this, Tantalizing Tony better stay the hell out of my face. If he comes near me, I'm just going to have someone throw him in a trunk and he's going to disappear for a couple of days. I'll miss WrestleMania if he gets in my face. I'll tell you that. And what else do I got coming up? Yeah, Wrestling with Savage is live every Tuesday and Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern. We give you the entire week of WWE and AEW. We try to do it in under an hour. What else do we got coming up? I'll be at the Battlefield multiple times over the next few months. If you haven't seen them yet, check out their YouTube page, Battlefield Pro Wrestling. Some of the best independent shows you're going to find online, all done by Alpha Jr., who's obviously another great mind for this business, and he knows how to run a promotion. But yeah, just stay tuned. You're going to see Savage. If you want to keep up with me, follow me on Instagram. I've blown up on Instagram this year. I got more followers this year than probably I can name entire rosters of independent locker rooms that can't even keep up with what I'm doing on Instagram. Wrestling with Savage. Follow me, and you can always stay tuned to what I'm doing next.
Again, Savage, I appreciate you hopping on with us tonight.
Thank you for having me, John.
Definitely looking forward to having you on again, in the future.
Appreciate you, man. Anytime, brother. Enjoy your night. And if I don't talk to you by WrestleMania, enjoy your WrestleMania weekend, because at the end of the day, this shit's all about having a good time.
I'll see you at Battleground.
I will see you at Battleground. Well, you're going to be the host of Battleground.
I'm the podcast. I'm doing the podcast.
That technically makes you the host of the whole thing.
Oh, I didn't look at it like that, but yeah, I guess
you should look at it like that. What you need to do is make sure you have your setup. I'm sure you're going to have your laptop or your computer or whatever you're going to do to have your initial setup, but you should have something where you can switch over to the phone too. You know what I mean? Send your phone a studio link so you can walk around and take your show with you anywhere you go.
That's actually, it isn't a bad idea.
It's a fucking brilliant idea, John. It's a fucking brilliant idea. It's a brilliant idea because then you can have your station, you can have your show, you can have anybody that wants to come sit down and be a guest. But at the same time, it allows you the opportunity to get up and show people what's going on. And, obviously pass by my table.
Of course.
I'll have some cookies and some cannolis for you. I'll try to get the low-fat kind. I'll get you some multi-grain croissants. How about that?
I look forward to it, Savage.
Right.
I will definitely look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Have a good night. This one Facebook user said something correct. He said John Blaine rules. And yeah, I agree. John Blaine rules.
And then he also said Total Tom sucks.
Well, we all know that already.
All right. Savage.
Adios, buddy. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. That was Greek Savage. Going to wrap up the show right now. I just want to see something because I did get a message here. Hold on. Oh, okay. I did not know that. But yeah, like I said, guys, appreciate everybody who watched the show tonight. Appreciate everybody who supported the show tonight. And all that stuff. But guys, we're going to wrap up the show for this evening. This was a great way to get my birthday celebration going because my birthday is in 2 days. And this was fun tonight. This was definitely fun. Having Total Tom on, having Greek Savage on, it was definitely fun. But guys, next week is the big show. Yeah, Mark, I will see you on Saturday. And Mark, you should know when I said about certain parts of New Jersey I agree on that their intelligence is not that great. And I wasn't referring to you, Mark. But guys, like I said, if I see you at Ace this weekend, definitely I'll take pictures. I'll be live next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. WrestleMania 40 predictions. And then, folks, we are off to Philadelphia next Friday. But again, guys, for everybody who watched the show tonight, I appreciate it a lot. It means a lot. Probably as far as an intro goes, an actual intro, look for that after Mania. Look for that after WrestleMania. We'll have something set up. But again, guys, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on X, subscribe to us on YouTube. It costs you nothing. There's wonders for us. Go support local indie wrestling. Like I said, there's a boatload of stuff coming up now. We got Ace coming up this week, Battlegrounds next Friday, Immortals the week after, Dynasty's coming up the end of April. So, guys, a lot of it's coming up. But again, guys, I'm John. You are the Around the Ropes Nation. I will see you guys next time right here on the Around the Ropes YouTube channel. Have a good night, guys.